It's that kind of day. We got snow in the Midwest, snow in Virginia. Piper's barking at the neighbor dogs. Fear and discord sowing everywhere. Do something about it, maybe. Huh? You complain or you do something about it. That's the thing. Our Illy coffee is in Virginia, our Virginia cup. Celebrating the fact we are in Northern Virginia. Covered with snow. We got about 4 or 5 inches yesterday. Came down. Haven't had snow in 2 years, I guess. 2 years ago we had snow. It's been a while since we had snow. So, here's the deal, guys. I've been, you can't avoid it. You can't avoid it. You're gonna see it on TV. You're gonna see it on social media. You're gonna see it people are gonna talk about it in your daily life. You're not gonna be able to get away from it. So last year we tried to get away from some of it. We tried to just steer clear of politics. We tried to. I'm still not diving in. I'm not diving into politics. Don't get me wrong. We're not going down that road. I'm not going down the road where we're diving into politics. But we're going to do something about it, right? So right now I've got a ton of people are talking about this $15 an hour minimum wage. Now the minimum wage has not really went up in a long time. It has definitely not kept pace with inflation. But there's a problem, and there's a problem with that. And I'm going to do my little tiny piece, my piece that I can do something about, to do something about it, to do something about that piece of it. And there's so much more going on, in this whole turbulent time we have, this weirdness that's going on right now. So hang out. We're back to Cup of Cyber. It is 7:30 a.m. East Coast time out here in Virginia. So stay tuned. I'm going to throw the intro in because we haven't been doing the intro. I'm going to throw the intro back in, and I'm going to tell you, can't see it. There's a ruler there. But tell you where we're going to go this year, 2021. We're going to make some difference. So here comes the intro, and we'll be right back. There it is. So, this is all about cyber. We talk about cyber here. Cyber, computer security, computers, networking, cloud computing, that kind of stuff is what we talk about. But you can't help but hear about what's going on. So here's my take. You may not want to hear it, but here I'm gonna throw it out there. My take on the $15 an hour minimum wage. I think the minimum wage go up. It should keep pace with inflation, but the problem here is multifold, right? Here's one thing: you force the minimum wage up to $15. Well, small businesses may not be able to support that. They may not be able to do that. So then they lay people off, or they just close down completely. Big businesses, and McDonald's is always the kind of the model they use when they talk about the $15 an hour minimum wage. They always go to McDonald's. They always talk about McDonald's workers. And I know there's a lot of people working at McDonald's that are using it to take care of their families, and that's part of the problem. But here's what McDonald's is going to do. And you've seen this last time we went through this. Last time when we talked about raise the minimum wage, McDonald's just started automating stuff. You saw the kiosk, the automated ordering kiosk, start showing up in many McDonald's locations. The way McDonald's puts their burgers together is ripe for automation. The burger's always the same size. It's always cooked for the same amount of time on both sides. Don't tell me that can't be automated. So what they're going to do, McDonald's will simply replace people with automation. And the people that are left, they'll go from 20, 25 people on staff for that day to 5 people to run the machines. That helps those 5 people. They get to $15 an hour, but it sure hurts the 15 people they lay off. So and then obviously what will happen is the person that is paying the employee $15 an hour will just pass that price along to the consumer, and the price of everything will increase. So don't get me wrong, I'm not a hater of increasing the minimum wage. I think the minimum wage should probably keep pace with the cost of inflation, the way things are rising. But my thought is, why not train people so they can get jobs that aren't minimum wage jobs, that are skilled jobs. And this is back in when I was growing up in the 80s, late 70s and 80s. Unions did a lot of this. You could go join the union hall and you could go be a bricklayer and start out. They would abuse you for a year or two, but you would learn how to lay brick. Or you could be a welder. And somewhere along the way, welder, the same thing. They would you'd work your way up to be a welder. Somewhere along the line, this has changed, and now there's degrees. You can get an associate's degree in welding, and that's how you become a welder now. I'm assuming those union jobs are still around, but they're not like they were. And maybe it's just because I grew up in a small town in Montana that we saw those a lot more. Technical training, vocational training, and technical training in high schools, a lot of times just isn't there. Well, that's weird. So I don't know where they went. So what I'm going to do this year, this month, I'm going to start my first cohort. And this should be 10 to 15 people that want to learn computers and computer security and risk management. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take a year, we're going to build a path, and we're going to train 10 to 15 people in this new field. We know there's a shortage. There's like a 4 million people shortage for computer security jobs this year. So if there's a shortage on one side and people that need jobs on the other, why don't we bridge that gap? And I can't do, this is just me. It's just me. So I'll take 10 to 15 people in a cohort. I'm not pitching you pay something. It's not a program you have to pay for. I want to take people that need to transition to a new job. Maybe it's people coming out of high school that can't afford, or for some reason they can't go to college. I don't think everybody, first, that's another whole subject. I don't think everybody has to go to college. That's one thing. Transitioning military veterans, people that are in industries that are suffering. Right now there's a ton of people that are bartenders and wait staff that just this whole situation we're in with COVID and everything else, maybe they're ready to do a career change. I know there's a lot of people out there driving truck that make good money right now and make hay while the sun shines. The trucking industry in the next 5 to 10 years is going to be going through the same thing as automation takes over trucking. We're going to see driverless trucks. It's the way of the future. The industry will drive it. In capitalism, you're like it or not, the main goal is to make money. These corporations are not altruistic. They're shipping companies, and if a robot can drive 24 hours and a human driver can only drive 8, and the computerized driver, the robot, can pick the best route and maintain the correct speeds to get the best fuel efficiency, first we'll see it. It'll be a driver that's going to sit with the robot to make sure it doesn't go crazy, and then over time, the companies will just demand that driver is taken out of the loop. And we're just going to see it. It's coming. Like it or not, 5 to 10 years we're going to see that. So I want to take 10 to 15 people. So 10 to 15 people. If we get more than 15, we'll have to pick the 15. I'm not going more than 15 because that's just the instructor ratio is not there. If you want to just follow along, certainly follow along. But the cohort, the interactive component, the people that will be going through this year-long transitional course is going to be limited to 10 to 15 people. And if you can jump on the Cyber-Recon Facebook site. That's Facebook /Cyber-Recon training. No dashes, no spaces, no anything. All just ran together. And check it out. Check it out. Send me an IM. I want to see who wants to do this. What we're talking about is we'll cover basic computer technology. So I don't want people to be afraid of coming in. If you have a friend that would be great in computers, that would love to get in this industry, but they just don't know anything about it, we're going to start with the basics. We're going to look at a computer. We're going to look at the parts. We're going to take it apart. We're going to look at the components. So this is your typical A+ kind of stuff. We're going to talk about A+ stuff. If you want to get the certifications, that's going to be totally on you. That's up to you if you want to get the certifications. We're going to cover the material to a point where you could certainly go get the certification. But more than that, you'll know the topic. If you are in the cohort and you're paying attention, you're going to know the topic, right? You're probably going to, on your own, you're going to have to get a hold of the book. Go to the library, get the book, get an e-copy of the book, buy the book on Amazon, whatever. It's all free. Stuff I'm doing is free. You might have to come to the table with something. The other stuff we'll talk about is basic networking. You got to know how networks work. Computers work, you got to know how networks work. We'll talk about basic networking, kind of like your network plus level understanding of networking. We're also talking about computer security. And if we're thinking about this, it's like A+, Net+, Security+. It's kind of the path this is on. By the time we get to security, it's going to be 601, right? It will have transition from the current version of Security+ to 601. So we'll study that. We'll get the new one. So again, if you're in the cohort, you're going to get more access to things, but this stuff's going to be pretty much out there, just on the webs, on the interwebs, trying to get people in the field. We'll also talk about cloud computing, not CCSP. That's an expensive exam to ask somebody to get into. Maybe Cloud Plus, maybe not. Maybe like Amazon Fundamentals or the basic Amazon stuff. That kind of level, getting you in the door, and then risk management. Obviously, we'll talk about risk management. That's kind of the last kind of area we'll talk about, because risk management ties it all together, lets us know where we're going. And obviously, along the way, we'll talk about tools and techniques. So when we're talking about computer security, we'll talk about computer scanners, stuff like Nessus and Qualys scanners. When we're talking about cloud computing, we'll talk about the different types of cloud computing: Amazon, Google, Azure. You got to know these things. The stuff behind it, driving a lot of this stuff, at least in this run this year, will be the CompTIA stuff and NIST. That's just where a lot of stuff's going to come from. This will set a solid foundation. The other thing we'll do is we'll talk about just job skill. How do you put your resume together? How do you do the interviewing? How do you do that stuff? So that's what I want to do in this year. So I'm going to put this long syllabus together. We're changing up. This is probably going to be the focus of Cup of Cyber for 2021 as we roll through this. So the first thing is put together what the training plan looks like. These are things we're going to talk about: basic computers, basic networking, security, risk management, cloud computing, tools and techniques for doing these things. That's where we're going. So if you know someone, there's a few people that follow the channel. If you know somebody that wants to do that, get them to sign up on the channel. Get them to contact me on Facebook. Go to Facebook, our Facebook site, Facebook.com/Cyber-Recon training. IM me. I'm looking for 10 to 15 people that'll be in the cohort. If you don't make the cohort for some reason, we'll be publishing the stuff, but you're not going to be part of the interactive sections. You're not going to be part of the I guess, for lack of a better word, the mentoring of the 10 to 15 people. Again, transitioning people. That's what I'm looking for. Transitioning out of high school, transitioning from the military, transitioning from a different job into this field, a job that maybe that you see that job is not where you want to be. You see that job as maybe having limited viability in the future. Whatever. I would love to see that. So we're going to get back. We're going to be back to the schedule of putting stuff out on a schedule, and I hope you share with your friends. If you haven't, go ahead and hit the like, the subscribe, all that stuff that we say on the YouTubes. Comment below. The biggest one on this one, you might be the security guru. You know exactly what's going on with security and cloud computing and all this stuff. And maybe this is not for you, but it may be for your friends. So share it with your friend. I'm just trying. I've done this. You guys, if you've been around, you know I've been in this field for like 25 years, right? I've done government, military, civil, the private sector, right? Security and computing in all those areas. I've learned a lot, done the formal education, done the certifications. Now let me help you, or let me help your friend get in the field, because we need people. We're short people, and there's people that need jobs. Let's look at this push for the $15 an hour minimum wage is the driver for this. Let's get people to where they don't need the minimum wage job. Let's get people to where they can get a job in a field that pays a living living wage. Yeah. It's not at all, I don't mean at all to diss on anybody that's working at any level. I just want to give people an opportunity to do something different if they don't want to be in that field. So help me help you. Help me get people into the field that desperately needs people. Let's get away from the job that's going to require you to accept minimum wage. Let's say even if minimum wage is $15 an hour, you don't have to accept that if you're willing to put the time in. And that's what you're going to have to do with this program. You're going to have to put the time in. People in the cohort will have to put the time in. They're just going to have to. That's what you're going to pay. You're not going to pay money. You're going to pay with your time. And we're going to roll. We're going to roll to cover these areas in a year. We're going to have to be booking. And if you already know it, if you've already been through A+, and you're in the cohort, you make the cohort because you want to learn some of the stuff at the other end, I'm going to ask you help the people that don't know that area. Maybe you don't know the A+, but you know Network Plus, or you know Security Plus. I'm going to ask you to help. That's what the cohort's all about, helping each other. So if you're in, let me know. I know it's been a while since I've been on in the morning, so we'll get back to talking in the morning. But this is just, we got to do something to help ourselves. Let's help each other. Let's do something about it. Do something about it. If you don't like the minimum wage, do something about it to where maybe you don't need to have a minimum wage job. But you got to put the time in. So, that's what I got to say. That's the morning. It is bright and cheery. Sun's coming up out there. Oh, man. Glad you guys are here. If you're watching later, let me know in the comments. Hit that retweet. Hit that hashtag, I don't know. Hashtag watched later. I don't know what the hashtag is. Hashtag, just let me know you watched it, man. Hashtag nothing, maybe. Let me know you watched. Throw something in the comments. Let me know what you think about this plan. Again, I'm not trying to say that if you're working a minimum wage job, you're terrible. I'm just saying, if you're working a minimum wage job and you don't want to be there, you want to do something different, and you're willing to put the time in, let me help you get where you need to get. So, that's all I got to say. I'm going to finish this one up. We're running about, oh man, where's my timer? I have a long time we're running. I don't know. We've been out here a while talking. Usually I can find the timer. Now I've got everything reset up. I can't find what's going on, guys. So let me help you. Help me help your friend. Let me help someone you know get into the field that needs the people. So, until next time, I'm Jim with Cyber-Recon. I'd love to see you fill up this cohort. Let's fill the cohort up and get it started. So, until next time, take care of your friends, take care of your family, take care of your coworkers, take care of each other. Let's take care of each other. Let's take care of each other. And let's do this thing. Talk to you later.